Okay, so I was going to try to wait before the air conditioner came off to film an update so there wouldn't be buzzing, but I've been out here for like 45 minutes and it has not shut off. So I'm just going to film this now. Sorry, I just got distracted by a butterfly that's on the butterfly bush behind the camera. So as I mentioned last night, my goal for today is finishing Days of Blood and Starlight. I don't know how that's gonna go, but despite the fact that it's like 95 degrees out right now, I think I am going to go for a short run and I will listen to the audiobook while I'm running. I read outside for a bit. I'm currently on page 350 and I think the entire book is something like, let's see, 513 pages long. So that would be 163 pages by the end of the day, which is, oh my god, finally. Which is in theory doable, but I have not been reading very quickly. Maybe it's because I'm outside and it's very hot. I don't know. We'll see how things go later. I'm also going to be reading the final 2 chapters of Sea of Monsters later today. That doesn't really fit into any of the reading rush prompts, but I've kind of given up on them, and this is kind of just like daily vlogs under the guise of the reading rush. I don't know, I thought I was going to be much more engaged in it than I actually was. I did one Instagram challenge and then kind of dropped off. I'm not really that active on Bookstagram anyway because I don't have like any aesthetic pictures to take, and I feel like I need to have aesthetic pictures to be on Bookstagram, which is false, but that's how I feel. Yeah, hopefully tonight, I've been busy the past couple of days, but I don't have much going on today. Hopefully tonight, maybe I'll finish watching The Hunger Games because I started that the other night and then never finished it. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes long, which I didn't realize that's quite long. I'm really enjoying it so far, honestly. Like, it's interesting because it looks a lot different than I imagined it while I was reading, especially District 12. It looks a lot more rural than I imagined it, but honestly, I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, I think it's a great movie, honestly. I'm only 40 minutes in, I guess we'll see how I feel at the end of it. The book was also overall, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit now. I've now finished Catching Fire 2, that was the audiobook I was reading before I picked up Days of Blood and Starlight. I'm honestly enjoying it a lot more than I expected to. Interestingly, I feel like with Catching Fire, I was definitely remembering more of the movie as I read it. Like, Finnick Odair is Sam Claflin. He just is, in my imagination. I didn't realize how little of the book the Quarter Quell takes up. Like, it was 60% of the way into the book at least when they actually got into the arena, and I didn't realize how short of a time they actually spent in there. I feel like if I had been reading it as a physical copy, I probably would have been reading it a lot slower just because it's kind of like not much happens for the first 60% of the book. So I still have my copy of The Hunger Games, but I don't think I have Catching Fire or Mockingjay. If I do, I have no idea where they are. But I read the end of The Hunger Games as a physical copy because I just wanted to be done with it and I didn't want to sit in my room just listening to The Hunger Games. But I did want to finish it because things were picking up. And I feel like it read much better as an audiobook than it did as a physical copy. There was just some sentence structure stuff that I felt very weird about, lots of periods, and it made sense to hear someone read it, but like me reading it, it just sounded weird just the way, because I will stop at every period. Like, I will read it in my head as written, and it sounded kind of weird as written. That was interesting. That's not really relevant to the reading rush, but I wanted to talk about it. I meant to talk about it earlier this week, and then I just kept forgetting. Anyway, yeah, that's my goal for the rest of the day. Hopefully try to finish this. I don't know if it'll happen. If it doesn't, I'll just accept it. But I will be finishing this soon. I'm not going to put it down after the reading rush is over. I need to finish it. And then maybe I'll even get to Dreams of Gods and Monsters. Maybe I'll actually finish that by the end of the year. I think I mentioned in the mid-year book freakout tag that I'm trying to finish more series. So I could make this one of them. Yeah. Talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go for a run even though it's super hot. I am already super sweaty from sitting outside this long. But I'm gonna go for a run anyway, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh well. I just got back from my run, so I'm not going to be in this shot because I'm still quite sweaty. I have not showered post-run yet. I got home and laid in front of my fan because once again it's very hot outside. Anyway, I laid in front of my fan reading. I now have I think about 105 pages left of Days of Blood and Starlight. Now I'm going to watch some Netflix. I'm currently watching Lenox Hill. I'm very fascinated by medicine. I know I studied American Studies and French in school, but it is absolutely not out of the realm of possibility that I go back to school for nursing. or something like that, because medicine has just always fascinated me and I just didn't go that path in college for extenuating circumstances. Yeah, anyway, that's too much information. I have a snack with me. I have some shrimp chips. I have some seaweed snacks, which I have on a plate with a paper towel because for whatever reason, this particular batch that I bought is just unfathomably oily and I cannot set them on surfaces. So paper towel and plate it is, super fancy. So yeah, I'm just going to enjoy my show. Bye. Decided to go get crepes for dinner. My name is not Nina, that's the name of the crepe, and it's very hot. Oh my god. Yay, excited to eat this after, oh my god, after she cools off a bit. Thank you. So yeah, while I'm waiting for my crepe to cool, I might as well do another update. First of all, this crepe, I recognize that it's all very sacrilegious, but that's getting crepes in America for you, so that was a disgusting pronunciation. Like, do I want to say crepe or do I want to say crepe? Le crepe. Anyway, getting them in the US is almost always sacrilegious. So this one is turkey, spinach, Dijon mustard, Gruyere. Why did I do that? Gruyere and something, and pesto, I believe. It's delicious. It would probably make some French people roll over in their graves, or maybe not. I don't actually know. I just know that I didn't see anything like this on any menus when I got crepes in France. So, how many different ways can I pronounce crepe? Let's see. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting close to the end of Days of Blood and Starlight. Things are starting to look up. I feel like I might actually finish it, especially since it is a 25-minute drive to the crepe place, but it's worth it, in my opinion, and there's not a crepe place any closer to me, as far as I know. But that means I get 50 minutes of listening to the audiobook, and I will be very close to the end by the time I make it home. Oh my god, my arm is tired. This might not be focused on me. That's okay, whatever. This is burning a hole in my leg also. I do believe I will be able to finish Days of Blood and Starlight tonight. I'm not going to vlog late into the night because I have to be awake at 9 a.m. to go skating tomorrow, and staying up until 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. editing videos is not conducive to going skating, waking up at 9 in the morning. I need a lot of sleep. I can't do 5 or 6 hours. For whatever reason, I just have never done well on limited amounts of sleep. Anyway, yeah, I'm rambling. I'm gonna wait for my crepe to cool some more, and I'm going to listen to more Days of Blood and Starlight, and then I'll head home, maybe do one final check-in, talk to you guys later, maybe talk to you in my next video, whenever that ends up being. I'm done! Alright folks, I do declare this reading rush finished. I feel accomplished. I didn't finish all the tasks, but this was a lot of reading in a week for me. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I really hope I'm in frame for this. The position of my lens seems a little weird. I don't know. If it wasn't clear, there's not a flippable viewfinder on this camera, which kind of sucks, but it was pretty affordable. I got it for Black Friday, and something with a movable viewfinder would have been like $100, $200 more, which is ridiculous. So I will deal. And you will have to deal with the lack of focus and my horrible angles. So yeah, I just finished Days of Blood and Starlight. I filmed that, so you will have seen me finishing Days of Blood and Starlight. Something that honestly, I might have been convinced if you told me it was never gonna happen. I would have been like, you know, you're probably right. So I guess thank you, Reading Rush, for getting me to pick this up. I'm just gonna go through what I've read so far and then give my thoughts on Days of Blood and Starlight. So, for a book that takes place on another continent, and the first thing I read for the Reading Rush, literally read it like, finished it 1 a.m. on the first day of the Reading Rush, was a volume of Haikyuu, which takes place in Japan, so Asia, different continent. 5 out of 5 stars. I've given literally every volume of Haikyuu 5 out of 5 stars. It brings me so much joy. Objectively, there are probably volumes that I've enjoyed more or less than the others, but you know what? They're all 5 stars. I don't give a shit. They're all 5 stars. Alright. I don't actually remember which one I finished next, but I'm gonna go with A Song of Raids and Ruin, which was a book that matches my birthstone. So my birthstone is emerald. This is a very beautiful green and gold cover. Emeralds are green. This I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I was not super interested in the romance, which is fine. That happens for me a lot. But I did really like the characters, and on the strength of that, I'll be reading the next book, and I could totally foresee myself eventually falling for this romance. It just didn't happen for me in this book. I'm talking really quickly right now, but that's okay. I'm very excited. Next up, we have the Black Flamingo, which, oh my god. I read this for read a book that starts with the Black Flamingo, and read a book in a genre you've wanted to read more of. For me, that is books in verse. What can I say about the Black Flamingo? What can't I say about the Black Flamingo? I adored this. I absolutely adored this. 5 out of 5 stars, easily. I would give it 100 out of 5 stars if I could. 1,000 out of 5 stars. An infinite number of stars for this book. This was just something else. I don't know. It was very special. It was very personal. It spoke to me on a lot of levels. Even though my experiences are not the same as Michael's, obviously, I just felt like I so deeply related to him on so many levels, and I think it was because of the way this book was written. It was so personal. This is just an absolutely beautiful book. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Cannot recommend it enough. I adored this book. I guess I'll talk about the prompts that I failed. I was going to read Howl's Moving Castle for a book that inspired a movie that I've seen, and read a book outside your house. As I mentioned, I gave up on reading outside of my house because it's fucking hot in Maryland right now. And I watched this the Friday before the reading rush started. I watched Miyazaki's Howl's Moving Castle. I got 125 pages in this, so this will be the book that I move to next. I guess continue with next after the reading rush. I just didn't have time to finish this, mostly because I spent so much time waiting to read it outside and then not reading it outside, which is alright, I guess. Unfortunate that I didn't get to this, but I'm happy with what I did. And the very last thing that I finished for the reading rush was Days of Blood and Starlight, which is the first book that I touched. As you may remember from the TBR, if you watched it, I was not thrilled to have touched this book first, because it's something that I've tried and failed to read at least 2 previous times, and I always stalled out at around the same point. But with the assistance of an audiobook and the push of the reading rush to finally pick this up, I finished it. So, can't believe that happened. I will probably move on to Dreams of Gods and Monsters sometime before the end of the year, because if I don't, I feel like the same thing will happen where I just never get around to reading it. So I want to make sure I finish that later this year. This is a long book. This is 513 pages long, and I don't think I would have I definitely would not have finished this for the reading rush if not for the audiobook. It's a very strange book. I was thinking about this as I finished it. Like, this is 513 pages. I feel like for what happened, for the content, there's not a lot of plot that happens in here. I don't think this needed to be 513 pages at all. I honestly don't know how it ended up being 513 pages. Maybe if I had read it physically, I would have understood how or why, but I don't think it needed to be 500 pages. It probably could have been shaved down to 400 easily, and I would not have felt like the story was missing anything. But I did enjoy it. It's probably going to be a 3-star read for me. It was nothing special. I know there's usually some kind of sophomore book slump. Second books are very often the worst in a series. I think that's a trend. I don't know, maybe I'm just making shit up. But hopefully Dreams of Gods and Monsters brings it home strong, because I would still call Daughter of Smoke and Bone one of my favorite books. This is just not it for me. So I hope Dreams of Gods and Monsters is it for me. And I'm done! I'm done! And it's 8:45 p.m. I don't even have to be editing this at 1 a.m. This is so exciting. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey with me. I hope you've enjoyed my daily vlogs. I can't wait to see what you guys were able to accomplish in the reading rush, and I can't wait to participate in more readathons soon, because something about getting stuff done, it feels really good, and sometimes I just need a push to actually read. I love you guys very much. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. God, what a nerd.